every soul. Family ties tangle, spaghetti in a maze. Growing up in this world of non-stop craze. Through Wonderland's gates we unlock the scene. Heartfelt confessions mixed with caffeine. Identity a mirror, emotions on the grind. Relationships weave webs tangled in the mind. Dad had a dad joke, mom had a battle cry. Bro screaming GTA, sister waving goodbye. Chaos at the dinner table, feelings hit the wall. Trying to grow tall, but the ceiling's way too small. Through Wonderland's gates we unlock the scene. Heartfelt confessions mixed with caffeine. Identity a mirror, emotions on the grind. Relationships weave webs tangled in the mind.
Welcome to Wonderland Unlocked, the podcast where we explore life's emotional maze through the lens of Alice in Wonderland. I'm Courtney, and today we're pulling up a crooked chair to a table that's somehow always one step ahead of you, and never actually going anywhere. Welcome to the Mad Hatter's Table. This is the episode for anyone who's ever tried to have a calm, clear conversation with a family member, only to end up in the exact same argument, again, and again, and again. This episode is called the Mad Hatter's Table when family conversations go in circles. We're diving into why some family conversations always loop back to the same conflict, how emotional avoidance plays a role, and what you can do to stop the cycle, even if they refuse to get up from the table. Because when every conversation is deja vu, it's not just exhausting, it's erasing. Let's spill some tea. Let's paint the scene. You bring something up. They deflect. You clarify, and they twist it. You defend. They bring up something from 2009. Suddenly, you're arguing about your tone, not your point. And the original issue? Forgotten. Welcome to the Mad Hatter's Table, where the tea is piping hot and the progress is, well, non-existent. These circular conversations are especially common in families that avoid accountability, use emotional manipulation to maintain control, have set roles they expect everyone to stay in, and fear of conflict, but fear change even more. When the goal isn't to resolve, but to win or avoid, you're not having a conversation. You're stuck in a performance. The thing is, people who don't want to change will often pretend to engage while doing everything possible to prevent movement. They gaslight, redirect, bring up your past, or suddenly become the victim. It's like a carousel of chaos, and guess who's getting dizzy? You. Let's talk about why this dynamic exists. There are a few key reasons why conversations with family go nowhere and keep doing it. Emotional avoidance. Many families would rather go in circles than touch a painful truth. If someone starts poking at that truth, the group dances away from it. Control through confusion. When someone feels threatened by change, they twist the dialogue to keep control. Confusion becomes a shield. Role protection. If you were always the sensitive one, and now you're direct, they'll push back. If you were the scapegoat, and now you're setting boundaries, they'll pull you back in. Unconscious patterns. Not all of this is malicious. Some people literally don't know how to have a clear, emotional, honest conversation. They were never taught. So even when your intentions are good, your words get lost in the loop. The result? You feel like nothing ever gets resolved. You're the only one trying. You want to scream into a pillow. Let's talk about what that does to your nervous system. If you've been through enough of these loops, you know the feeling. Your body tenses up before the conversation even starts. You anticipate the reaction before you say a word. You try to over-control your tone so they can't blame you for being, quote, too much. You feel disoriented afterwards, unsure what was even said. This is what emotional circulatory does. It keeps you in fight or flight mode. It makes you feel responsible for making sense of their chaos. It reinforces the belief that your voice doesn't matter because it never changes anything. You start thinking, maybe I should just stay quiet. It's not worth the fight. They're never going to change. But let's pause here. That thought, they're never going to change, that might be true, but you can, and that changes everything. Let's talk about how to get up from the Mad Hatter's table, emotionally, mentally, and maybe even physically. Here are the tools for disrupting circular communication. Recognize the loop. Name it gently. I feel like we've had this conversation before. Can we try a new approach? Set a time limit. Limit how long you'll stay in a draining conversation. I can talk about this for about another 15 minutes and then I'll need to take space. Use the broken record technique. Repeat your point calmly even when they derail. I hear you, but I'm focusing on what happened last weekend, not 5 years ago. Exit gracefully, not abruptly. Sometimes the best option is to say, I want to continue this when we're both in a space to really hear each other. Don't expect closure, aim for clarity. Your goal isn't always to fix them. It's to stay rooted in your truth. Breaking the loop is hard, especially when your family keeps pulling you back in. But you're allowed to change the rhythm, even if they keep dancing in circles. Here's a radical thought. You don't have to keep attending the tea party. You don't have to answer every accusation. You don't have to explain your healing. You don't have to chase clarity from people who benefit from your confusion. Sometimes the most powerful move isn't to win the argument. It's to stop having it. You can say, I've said what I need to say. I don't think we're hearing each other. Or let's pause this and come back to it with fresh energy. And if they can't accept that, that's their discomfort to manage, not yours. You don't have to earn their peace. You get to choose it. Not all conversations have to be circular. Not all families are doomed to the Mad Hatter's table. Sometimes, with effort, healing, and boundaries, new dynamics can emerge. Maybe not with your whole family, but with one sibling, or one parent, or a chosen family member. You can start creating tables where honesty is honored. Emotions are named, not weaponized. Growth is welcome, even if it's messy. You deserve that kind of connection. You deserve conversations that go somewhere. And it starts with your decision to stop spinning and start standing still in your truth. The Mad Hatter's table is loud, confusing, exhausting, but you don't have to keep showing up for the same old story. You can step away from the circular conversations without guilt. You can speak clearly even if others keep twisting. You can rest your voice even when they keep shouting. Thanks for joining me in this episode of Wonderland Unlocked. If this resonated, consider journaling what conversations in your life feel circular and what you're ready to do differently. You don't need a perfect strategy. You just need permission, and you have it. Stay grounded, stay curious, and remember, if the table never moves, maybe it's time to build a new one.